How are we doing, guys? So, we thought at USN it would be a good idea to bring out a video for anybody who's looking to write themselves a fitness program, anybody who's new to fitness. Some of these points that I bring up, they might provoke an idea or two. If they do, then job done. Remember, you can also check out the USN website, loads of information on diet, training, nutrition, goal setting, all that kind of thing. So for now, these points are pretty basic, to be honest, but that's fine because often the most simple points in fitness and the most simple fundamentals are the most effective. So you can just tweak these and make them specific to yourself, and you've got a nice structure on its way. So point number one, a do, is to have yourself a vision, and that probably sounds quite deep. But it's true, you know, you need to have a vision, you need to have a clear direction of exactly what you want. So I'd recommend literally just sitting down, spending a couple of minutes, actually thinking to yourself, why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this fitness journey? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to look like? You know, it's so important to have that vision, because if you don't, it's so easy to just wander around meandering through this whole process and being like, well, maybe I'm there, maybe I'm not. So have that clear vision of exactly what you want. Excuse me. Which brings me on to point two, which is having goals. Again, very simple, but a mistake that a lot of people make, and I've made it myself, I'm sure everybody has. You can have a long-term goal. For example, 12 weeks, I want to lose 24 pounds of body fat. That's great, fantastic goal to have, but then what? So it's important to have weekly targets. Break that goal down into manageable, bite-sized chunks, so then every week you've got a target of 2 pounds. So now you have a little bit of urgency in your plan. That's going to help motivate you, and it's going to help keep you focused, you know, because every single week you've got a target. You've got to hit that mark every single week. So you know your vision, that's what you want. You've got your goals, that's how you're going to get there. The third point is to get your training and diet to coexist, to so they're benefiting each other, if you know what I mean. There's no point having your diet set up maybe in a calorific deficit when you're trying to build muscle. And the flip side to that is there's no point being on a bulking diet if you're trying to lose weight and reduce body fat. So, you know, that's quite a big point. So I'd recommend, if you're not too sure about diet and training, to check out the USM pages, because that is really important. Obviously, it doesn't have to be set up like you're training for Mr. Olympia, but, you know, I don't want you to just get to the gym and be like, right, I'm at the gym, what do I do? And then you get home and it's like, what do I eat? And I should also touch on supplements as well. Supplements is going to be an important part of training, regardless of your goal, whether you're trying to bulk up or whether you're trying to lose body fat and get nice and tight for summer. So yeah, those are the three do's. The three don'ts, that sounds a little bit negative, don't, but you know what I mean, things that you should probably try to avoid. Number one, and I think we've all probably done this at some point, is don't look for quick fixes, because believe me, there's none out there that are worth taking in terms of diet, you know. Diets work, you're gonna lose fat, and you might lose fat very quickly, you might lose a lot of fluid very quickly, you might lose weight very quickly, but it's not sustainable. So often what people do is they'll go on a crash diet, they'll get great results, possibly they'll get great results, but then they'll have a rebound effect, because it's far more complicated. How the body responds to being in a stage of starvation, if you like. Maybe that's a little bit too drastic, but the body is very resourceful. So if you deprive the body of what it requires, sooner or later it's going to cling onto it, probably even more than beforehand, before you start the diet. So diets work. If you go on a watermelon diet, you're going to lose a lot of weight, you're going to lose a lot of water, you're going to lose probably some body fat, but it's not sustainable, it's not healthy. So try to avoid temporary fixes in your diet, and maybe look to a long-term healthy outlook on nutrition, because you can also throw in all your cheat days, your bad meals, but it's a long-term, I guess a long-term vision with your nutrition as well. So that's number one, don't look for quick fixes. Point number two is don't be afraid to fail. Anybody who has achieved anything in fitness, whether you've achieved yourself a six-pack, or whether you've achieved dropping 5 pounds of weight, or whether you've won Mr. Olympia or become a professional basketball player, whatever, everybody goes through failure, and fitness is absolutely so dependent on not giving up. So don't box yourself in. If you kind of protect yourself in cotton wool, then you're not going to be able to really push yourself, okay? And one of USN's slogans, challenge yourself, and that's so true in this case. You've got to be prepared to fail. Nothing bad will happen from failure. You might not hit your goal, but at least you can give yourself a pat on the back and say, you know what, I'm a lot closer to hitting my goal than I would have been if I didn't aim high enough. So don't be afraid to fail. Remember, everybody does fail, especially in fitness, but just get the mentality straight in your head. There's no problem with failing, only in not trying. I like that. I'm going to write that one down, Nick. So, point number two is don't be afraid to fail. The first one was no quick fixes. And the last one, which is kind of leading on from don't be afraid to fail, is try not to get discouraged if you don't see results straight away. That's the thing which is brought up time and time again, is for, week one, it's really easy to stick in this training and nutrition mentality. Week two, I'm not seeing too many results. Week three, I'm giving up. Remember that so much progress is going on behind the scenes. Think of it like an iceberg. What we see is on top, but so much is happening beneath. So I just really try to encourage everybody to just keep on focusing on your fitness program. Remember that it takes time. Try not to get discouraged, and that progress will happen. You just need to keep the faith that it will happen. So those are the 6 points that I've got for you today. I'm sure there'll be more in the pipeline as we move forward. Excuse me. If you want to discuss any of these points, or if you just want to get in contact for a chat, you can reach me on Twitter and on Instagram at Nick Cameron Fit. Also, feel free to contact any of the athletes, because they're a great bunch, and they'll all most likely be happy to offer any support and advice, anything like that. And remember to keep USN updated as well with all of your progress. So best of luck. I believe in you. Go after it. Challenge yourself. And talk to you next time.